What's going on, guys? This is Gainz Gaming. Today, I first of all want to apologize. My voice is awful. I actually have COVID, but I need to put a video out today by reset. So we need to make sure we get this video out. And today, we are going to be talking about the new patch notes that landed in our official Discord, as well as new events coming into Rise of Kingdoms going into 2025. And I'm sure you've heard it a lot, but Happy New Year. I hope you guys had an amazing 2024. I know I'm very, very appreciative of how well my channel did in 2024. Everyone that's new here, I appreciate all of you, and I'm super, super excited to see what comes in 2025 for my YouTube channel. Now, let's dive straight into this. I'm sure a lot of you have heard we are getting a new cavalry commander named Arthur. This is King Arthur. I'm sure you've heard about King Arthur in history class. He's a very, very well-known historical figure. And that's one of my favorite things about Rise of Kingdoms is the amount of historical figures that we have in the game. Honestly, it might be one of my favorite things about commanders. So we have Arthur, once and future king. He is a cavalry, versatility, and combo attack damage commander. That is going to be absolutely insane. I'm super, super excited to see how good the combo skill tree is going to be. As we saw with smite damage, it's probably going to be very, very good. And that is why Luce is so good. That is why William Wallace is so good. It's because they have that new smite damage and the new smite tree, which, you know, is obviously much better than anything else, in my opinion. Now, we don't know exactly what this is going to look like yet. I'm sure we will find out in the next couple of days of what that combo attack skill tree is going to look like. But once it is in game, I will make sure I make a video. So make sure you subscribe to see that video in the future. Now, before we talk about unlocking King Arthur, we do have a new civilization coming into Rise of Kingdoms, which is super exciting. It's always nice to get new civs to be able to use in Rise of Kingdoms. This is going to be the Maya civilization. I believe I'm saying that right. If I'm not, correct me in the comments below. But this is going to increase all types of normal damage by 3%, increase your archer defense by 5%, and increase your gold gathering speed by 10%. This is a must-use skin for your farm accounts. That's kind of a given. If you are an infantry main, you could also consider using this due to the normal damage increase. But the nice thing about normal damage is that you are buffing a lot of different things, not just Luce, not just William Wallace. It will be really interesting to see how combo attack damage works with that, because they haven't really disclosed what exactly is going to be happening with that combo attack damage. So we will have to see if that has any benefit from this as well. But the 5% archer defense is also pretty solid, but you should definitely be switching to this for your farm accounts. Now, talking about farm accounts, we have a new gathering commander, which is pretty nice. Although I was really hoping that we were going to have a new peacekeeping commander. That's what I was really hoping for. These two both look like Pakal, which is kind of funny. I'm sure Kayak, I doubt I'm saying that right. If I'm not, correct me. I'm sure he's going to be mistaken for Pakal many, many times. Shout out to Apocalypse Gaming if you guys have not heard about that incident. But we also have Wak Chanel Aja, doubt I'm saying that right, but she is going to be the gathering commander. We don't know exactly how good she's going to be, but it is pretty cool having Lady Six Guy in the game. She is a very prominent historical figure from the Maya civilization. Now, these are going to have specific special units. So we have the Spear Thrower and the Elite Spear Thrower T4 and T5. Personally, I don't know a whole lot about the math. That's not my forte. If you guys want to watch more on this, I would highly recommend checking out Wick Gaming. He hasn't made content in a long time, but he is a very, very good content creator that you could check out some of that math if you're more data oriented. Otherwise, Shappy Gaming also does a ton with data and with stats. So if you are interested in that kind of content, I would recommend following up with those two content creators. Highly, highly recommend it. But one of the biggest things that people are worried about is the commander swaps. Now, a lot of people were worried when this first came out, when the first graphics came out, because they were first showing Genghis Khan being switched to Hu Bing, which then people obviously thought, oh, well, it has to be a cavalry commander, it has to be a legendary cavalry commander that you're switching over to a new legendary cavalry commander. But this shows that that's not true. It also shows that you can do this with gold key commanders, which is also pretty crazy. Now, one thing that kind of sucks for me is that in the rebuilding of the Crusader Fortress, I have actually been trading in most of my gold key commanders that are expertise, because I'm like, oh, I don't have any reason for these. So that kind of sucks, because now you might be able to, you know, send away your Charles Martel and then instantly max him again, which would be pretty overpowered. So that's going to be pretty great for a lot of people that have not been trading those heads in. I highly, highly doubt that you're going to be able to put in Siandak or Cleopatra, because, you know, they do say that there are some stipulations with this. As you can see at the bottom of the rules, select 2 commanders with a few exceptions to swap their levels, star levels, and skill levels. So what I would assume is that you cannot take gathering commanders, gathering legendary commanders, and switch them into Hu Bing, into Hermann Prime, etc. And then same thing with like Minamoto. You can't take you know, Charles Martel and switch it to Minamoto, because obviously Minamoto you have to pay for. Same thing with Lu Bu, Hannibal Barca, list goes on. So that is going to be something that you should expect going into this. I'm not quite sure what the cost is going to be with this event. What I'm assuming is that the first one is going to be free and the second one is going to cost either gems or cost money, or you have to win it in an event. But from what I have heard from our contacts with Rise of Kingdoms, they do say that there is going to be some kind of price tag attached to this event. Whether that's going to be gems or money, we're not really sure, but I will keep you guys posted on what that looks like when we get the announcement. So it will be tested before it gets launched to other kingdoms. And if your kingdom is more than 7 days from the end of Season 2, the event will start 7 days before the end of Season 2. That way you can trade up for Season of Conquest commanders. Now, I am also assuming that you have to have the commander unlocked, that you can't take a Mightiest Governor commander that you want to have and then, you know, trade it for something you don't have unlocked, because that's just not how things work. So like if you want Ashurbanipal, but you haven't unlocked him from Mightiest Governor, you're not going to be able to do that without unlocking the commander first. But a lot of these commanders are going to be in the Legendary Tavern as well that you could unlock them in. Now, another pretty cool thing is the armament conversion. This will develop formations instantly. So the rules here state you are going to use conversion stone items to convert legendary quality armament into armaments of the same type for other formations. So as you can see at the top, you're switching the arch formation into the square formation, or the hollow square formation. And then with that, you are also switching out the buff that you're getting from the inscription onto the other one, because it's not going to be the exact same. So you want to make sure you're looking at that before you're doing a swap. Now, I will also assume that you're going to need to have one that has an inscription, and that you can't just do it with stats, even though a lot of people have been saying, oh, I have one armament that has 3.5 of everything, I'll just do that, but it doesn't have an inscription, so I don't think that's going to be something you can do, but we'll have to see when it comes into game officially in January. Now, I talked a little bit earlier about getting King Arthur. You are going to be able to unlock him for free through this event, the King's Trial. Now, the important thing to realize is that if you are a newer player, you are not going to be able to unlock King Arthur because you are not in Season of Conquest. And so in that case, you are going to be unlocking the legendary new commander with the Maya civilization, Kayak. I don't know how to say his first name. I doubt I'm saying the last name correctly, but that's the commander that you'd be able to unlock, which is probably not going to be very good. So don't go out of your way to unlock this unless you really want to unlock the commander and then buy the bundle you get right after. Now, one nice thing too that they've been doing with Ragnar Prime and now with King Arthur is that they're letting you try out these commanders for 2 weeks to test out if you want to use him, which I think is a great addition to the game, because that way you're not putting your gold heads into a commander and then regretting it once you're like, holy crap, this absolutely sucks. Or you have Chisgul that has a bunch of people that max the commander and they're like, oh, well, I just wasted 700 gold heads on this and it really sucks, right? So it's nice that they're doing this and not making you max the commander immediately to know whether it's good or not. And one nice thing too, we have getting all Tavern commanders for free. Calling all governors, you are able to sign in and get these different heroes. So as you sign in every single day, you're able to unlock these new commanders, which is great for accounts that haven't been able to unlock them yet. And, you know, if you are working on these commanders, I'm sure you're just going to get 10 sculptures of their heads to put into putting into their skills. But obviously most Season of Conquest players have all these epic commanders maxed out and a lot of these gold key commanders maxed out. So this is going to be more important for newer players, people just entering Season of Conquest. Now, once again, I do apologize for my voice. I know it probably sounds awful. I will definitely hate editing this because it's going to be just excruciating to edit this together with how my voice sounds. But if you have made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I hope you guys have a fantastic 2025. I know I am super, super excited to see what it brings for my channel and for Kingdom 1846 going through this KVK. Make sure you guys do stay tuned for our future fights. We do have a Ruins fight coming up, as well as our Zone 7 fight, or the Pass 7 fight, I should say, and then eventually Kingsland. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, and I will see you guys later.